Well, that didn't go according to plan, but a win is a win, and the Red Raiders do, in fact, move to 1-0 on the year after a 52-51 win in overtime against their West Texas foes in the Abilene Christian Wildcats. In today's video, we will discuss how the offense met expectations and then some, but how major, and I mean major, questions have arisen for the Texas Tech defense and what we can expect now from that unit moving forward. Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's RC Maxfield here for the Back to 12 podcast. If you haven't already, be sure to like the video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell. We had almost 20,000 people yesterday on the watch party for Texas Tech Abilene Christian. And if you want more of those this season, simple way to make it happen is like the video and let me know in the comments. And while you're down in the comments, you might as well give me your one word to describe this Texas Tech 52-51 victory over ACU. Listen, I have thoughts. There will be a rant. I know some of y'all are here for the rant, but let me know your one word down on the pinned comment below to describe this Texas Tech victory in game number 1 of the 2024 season. All right, before we get into anything too crazy, let's look at the numbers. All right, here is the Texas Tech, stat log, stat book, whatever the hell you want to call it, for Abilene Christian. Behren Morton was as advertised. You wanted to see that patented Behren Morton zip? You got it, okay? He threw for 378 yards, 5 touchdowns, was methodical in the pass game. Josh Kelly, his number one target, he will be a guy that is hyper-targeted for the Red Raiders as he was against Abilene Christian. 15 targets, caught 10 of those targets did Josh Kelly for 156 yards and a touchdown. Coy Aiken, not too far behind in terms of, average catch, but Josh Kelly doubled him up when it came to yards. Coy Aiken had 5 receptions, 76 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jalen Conyers, 5 catches, 63 yards and a touchdown. Caleb Payday Douglas, don't forget the payday, 4 catches, 42 yards and a touchdown. The 3 big transfer offensive weapons were there. The major talking point offensively for the Red Raiders going into this one was the offensive line. They looked pretty damn good in pass pro. We'll give them credit there. Running the ball, it was a little bit spotty at times. You look at Taj's numbers there, 27 carries, 153 yards, and a touchdown. Taj had to make a lot of guys miss early and often with back cuts, counters, all kinds of stuff there. But overall, I thought the offensive line for Texas Tech probably gets a C+, B- type grade for their performance against Abilene Christian. Now, a name you do not see on there is Micah Hudson, and he really only played 4 snaps from my count. Okay, but Joey McGuire in the post-game presser said that was just due to the guys that were producing on the field. They wanted to ride with the hot hand at wide receiver, and honestly, I don't blame them too much, although I'm like you. I wanted to see Micah Hudson play a little bit more, but Josh Kelly was sensational, as was Coy Aiken, Jalen Conyers, and Caleb Payday Douglas. Now, when you look at the defensive side of things, I don't think you can get the whole entire story from just looking at the tackle aspect of this for Texas Tech. So what we will do is go to comparison here, and we will look at everything for Texas Tech and Abilene Christian. You look at the total yards allowed. The Red Raider defense allowed 615 total yards. Yeah, you read that right. 506 yards passing. The former Red Raiders on the Abilene Christian offense ran rampant against this Texas Tech defense that had more holes than Swiss cheese. Okay, you had 5 former Red Raiders starting for Abilene Christian on the offense, including Maverick McIver, who had a career night for the Wildcats. Nehemiah Martinez, the Lubbock kid, comes back, has a great night. Trey Cleveland came back to Lubbock after a pit stop at UNT the year prior with the Abilene Christian Wildcats now as Trey Cleveland, and had a big game as well, not to mention Jed Castles as well as Yanta there on the offensive line. The Texas Tech defense looked non-existent at times against this Abilene Christian offense, and there was a multitude of reasons for that. First being, you didn't have your best corner. Simple and plain. Is that the biggest reason why this happened? Hell no. But let's put it out there just to give fairness, right? You didn't have Braylon Lux, who was scheduled to be back next week at Washington State. You had 6 starters, according to Joey McGuire, making their first collegiate start. That said, that's not even what I'm upset about. I'm not upset about, how the players played in this situation. to a large degree. There's a couple of plays where I'm just like, oh, damn, that was, pardon my language, horse shit. Like, that was a really bad play. The thing I'm most upset about, and I think Texas Tech fans should be most upset about, is the lack of adjustments, okay? Go back and watch this game, and it seemed like Abilene Christian was running only 5 plays. They were just moving guys around in them. They ran the halfback wheel route, what seemed like whenever they wanted to, and got a first down on the right side, closest to their sideline, what seemed like 5 to 6 times. They were running a basic-ass mesh concept, and there was no stopping it. Tim DeRuyter did not make a single adjustment, an iota of an adjustment, after a disastrous first half, and got Abilene Christian back in the second half because they continued to do what they were doing in the first half. There were no adjustments, and I get it. Jacob Rodriguez actually talked about this postgame where there were struggles in terms of the communication, not from the headset, but getting it relayed to guys. First and foremost, that has to be a priority. But second, there has to be adjustments made. They were running a basic-ass mesh. That's it. Go look at it. They had a guy going in motion, and then Nehemiah Martinez would run across the face of the quarterback and have an easy completion to make a guy miss. If it wasn't Nehemiah Martinez, it was Taylor. If it wasn't Taylor, it was Jed Castles. It was Trey Cleveland, so on and so forth. It was a basic-ass mesh concept, and Texas Tech had no idea how to make an adjustment on it. That's the biggest concern for me. Now back to really just what I think needs to happen moving forward. Do I think Texas Tech is a good football team and this is as bad as it gets defensively? I'll try and be the voice of reason here and say yes, okay? I understand, though, if you're looking at this and thinking to yourself, RC, how the hell can you say that, right? Fair point. I don't think it can get worse than this for the secondary. Again, 6 guys starting on the defense for their first time in college football. You were missing your best corner, but also at the same time, Abilene Christian was preparing for you all damn offseason. They had a vengeance to settle with this team. Why? Again, you had 5 on the starting offense for Abilene Christian that were former Red Raiders, and 11 total, not to mention the head coach, Keith Patterson. Okay, they were prepared for this game. It is more of a testament to their due diligence than Texas Tech, in my opinion. The Texas Tech coaching staff and players, they have to have self-reflection moments here in the sense of the offense balled out. I thought they shined and then some. Is there room for improvement on that side of the ball? Yes, but compared to the defensive side of the football, they were godlike out there. Okay, the defense has to go in and make adjustments. You have to get pressure on the quarterback because that was non-existent. You look at the color of Maverick MacGyver's jersey, and it was somehow wider after a whole entire game than it was when he came out of the visitors' locker room. That's how little he was impacted throwing the football. You have to get to the quarterback if you're Texas Tech. There has to be major adjustments moving forward. Simple and plain on the defensive side of the football. Because if there's not, this will be a long season. That said, I will try and be the voice of reason here for you guys. Again, I think I would be pretty surprised if it wasn't, this will be the worst defensive performance you see from Texas Tech this year. They will get better. But now is the time, and this is a message I've seen all over Red Raider Nation, not just me, all over Red Raider Nation. Is it time to panic? I don't think it's time to panic, but I do think it's this for this player, the players on this team and the coaching staff. It is time to look in the mirror. It is time to shut the hell up with this hype shit. It is time to shut the hell up with this salesman shit, and it's time to get down to fucking business. That's what it is. You had one of the most hyped off seasons in Texas Tech program history with the South End Zone being unveiled, $250 million. Patrick Mahomes heavily involved in the program now. And what do you do in game number 1 of this new era of Texas Tech football? Lay almost an historically bad egg. Historically bad. That would have been one of the worst losses in program history. Granted, you're 1-0. You celebrate that win, like Joey McGuire and the players said in the press conference. You did win the game. But I get it from Texas Tech fans' perspective as well. That was putrid. It was embarrassing in terms of the defensive performance that the Red Raiders showed in game number 1. However, if you take one thing away from this, and again, come back to me if I'm wrong during the season, I truly believe that will be the worst performance you see Texas Tech have this year on the defensive side of the football. It's only up from here. It doesn't discredit what ACU did. It doesn't discredit the fact that that was an embarrassing performance defensively. However, I do think this team gets better, and you saw exactly what you wanted to see from the offensive side of the football. Behren Morton had the zip. Taj Brooks looked sensational. Josh Kelly looked great. Jalen Conyers was involved. You also had Caleb Payday Douglas, and Coy Aiken was once again the security blanket for Behren Morton. Okay, so you feel good about the offense. The special teams group was good as well, but the defense is the major question mark for the Red Raiders moving forward, heading up to Pullman, Washington in week number 2, where they did the Red Raiders as 1.5-point favorites. They are now 2.5-point underdogs, according to FanDuel. And now the Red Raiders have some serious issues to address on the defense if they are going to want to move to 2-0 in the 2024 season. All right, that's going to wrap it up for today's recap video. Once again, Texas Tech beats Abilene Christian 52-51 in an absolute nail-biter for the Red Raiders. Go down to the pinned comment below and give me your one word to describe Texas Tech's 52-51 victory over Abilene Christian. And while you're down there, you might as well like the video and then hit that subscribe button to join the largest group of Texas Tech fans on YouTube. And hey, the most interactive and the best part about this channel, I'm telling you right now, look at me. You're going to like this part. It's 100% free. All you got to do is interact, like the video, hit that subscribe button to stay in the know on all things Texas Tech football all year long on arguably the realest Texas Tech YouTube channel. We're just going to shoot it straight to you. I'm not going to hide my real feelings. Doesn't mean I'm going to be wrong sometimes. I'm definitely going to be wrong, but I'm going to be 100% honest with you 100% of the time. There's no doubt about that. Join the Back to 12 squad today by liking the video and hitting that subscribe button.